I've never really shared about this part of my journey, but I hope that it serves purpose and that it will help to alleviate some of the fear that is associated with healing. Started my morning off with 32 ounces of lemon honey water, and then I took my Vimergy B12, and then I drank 32 ounces of plain celery juice. For breakfast, I just had a couple of plums. For lunch, I had a smoothie made of banana, frozen mangoes, a piece of ginger, and some lime juice. After lunch, I took my Ester C, Vitex berry, L-lysine, Pharmagaba, 5-MTHF, and Hawaiian spirulina. Hi guys, and welcome back to another vlog of my medical medium lifestyle. Today is gonna be a little different. I wanted to kind of shed some light on a different side of this whole healing journey that I normally don't really reveal, or I put it on my Insta stories so that it quickly disappears. And I just never wanted to put light on the real hard sides or my negative experiences, not necessarily negative experiences, my challenges of the way I was really feeling, because I feel that most people are already in that space, already having difficulty in that space, are already challenged with that, just dealing with health issues, period. And so I never really spoke about this side, but I think that, or I hope that by sharing this side, not to attract or show you how difficult or anything like that, but to be more of support by sharing this. Support that you are not alone if you are feeling this way as well. And that's what I hope to get across with today. And so when I was sick, when I was in a really bad space of, being ill for so long, being ill for my entire life, dealing with eczema. I never knew a life without eczema. It was always there. And I always was sick in some form or some way. And dealt with fatigue, dealt with numerous allergy issues, and it just continually, as I got older, got worse. And when, that takes a toll on your self-esteem as you grow up, dealing with outsiders, meaning outsiders of your family who do not understand what you were dealing with, who may not know what eczema was back then, who didn't know how to react, didn't know how to deal with it themselves, and through fear they say things, make fun, or justify why they're normal and that's not, because they're so afraid to get that. There's many different reasons, but as a child it's hard to deal with. You don't really understand that other people's intentions and their actions come with their own fears. And as I grew up and learned to deal with it, it got to a point where my health was so bad that I lost everything. Like, I couldn't do anything anymore. I couldn't do physical activity. So it just shoots down your self-esteem. I couldn't work anymore. I could barely walk outside for 10 minutes. I could no longer be independent, which is what I just love to do. I was always an independent person. So I felt shackled, and then I felt really, really sad. Sad in the sense that I questioned, what did I do in life? What did I do so wrong to have this happen to me? To have a life that is stricken with illness? What did I do? What did I really do? I always felt like I lived life treating others well, doing the best I can, listening to my parents, doing what I think God would want me to do. And yet here I am suffering with an illness, and I got everything taken away. Everything. Everything fell apart. And I no longer knew who I was. And in that beginning part, even after finding Anthony and learning Anthony William, the medical medium, and learning what the root cause of my illnesses was, at that point, I felt supported again because I wasn't no longer, now there was a reason why I was feeling this way, not because, I did it or I was a bad person and I deserved this. So then I traveled into this second phase where it's like, I found the answer to my issues. But now I have to live this life that everyone is resisting. Everyone around me, my close family and friends, cannot know of because I was in fear of them rejecting the idea, and I was not in a space for them to make fun of it, or I isn't in a space to fight back and justify why this is right and their way is wrong. I didn't have it in me, so I hid it all. I hid it all from everyone. Even my husband. I shared some things and I said, I just am choosing to eat this way because I want to. But I never really shared why or what. He just kind of like, okay, well, you do you. And I never had support. I didn't have the support. I was all alone in the journey. And I turned to social media. I turned to social media to see others who were on this journey. And I connected in a sense that I just watched their journey. I didn't even reach out to anybody. A few people, comments here and there was really nice to have and to have that support. But I just surrounded myself and kept watching what other people did and just felt like I wasn't alone and that I belonged to something. So that's where this whole medical medium community became a very big part of my healing journey. I wasn't out there to be popular, to make followers. I just really followed people to feel like I belonged to a group. They may or may not even know, but they were my support. I didn't even ask them for help, or it wasn't like I messaged them all the time. I just literally looked at their profiles. And by looking at their profiles and seeing how they're healing and seeing what they're doing and seeing that they're doing the same thing as me, and that just made me feel connected, and that was my support. I didn't have anybody. I did it all alone. It wasn't until I became more comfortable in what this lifestyle was about. It wasn't until I started to heal, and it wasn't until I had the full faith in myself and in this process that I was actually able to share with close friends and family of what I have been doing. By then, I was already doing it for 1 year. I had already, it was not until, I think it was for me, it wasn't until about a year that I really started to begin sharing. Not even go in depth, just begin sharing. And year 2 was when I really started to go in depth on how much I was dealing with. And there's still to this day a lot of people that don't know the depths of it, or how hard it was. I didn't focus on that. I focused on understanding the root cause, submerging myself in this lifestyle. Like, I dove into it. I engulfed in it. I took everything and I was like, I'm changing everything. And I had to learn this new lifestyle. I had to learn the new me. I had to prepare myself to make myself strong, to build my self-esteem, and to really solidify who I am now. This new person. And yes, I am a new person. I am no longer the person I was. I am a completely different person with a different lifestyle. And I had to prepare myself and solidify myself so that when I came into interactions with people who knew my old lifestyle, who wasn't prepared for the new person, who was not aware of this new person, that I could hold my ground and support them in adapting to my change. And that's how I did it. That's how I moved on, and that's how I dealt with challenging times. And no, I haven't really spoke about that side of it because I never really wanted to bring the light upon the negative side, well, not the negative, the challenging sides. Because everybody's faced with challenges, and I didn't want to put focus on that. I wanted to put focus on the beautiful side of it, because that served as a reminder for me, and I hope that it serves as a reminder for all of you when going through this, that there is a beautiful side to this. And I am completely 100% satisfied with who I am and who I have become. And I don't regret anything that I've chosen to do, and I don't feel bad, and I don't blame myself for the illness that I have incurred. I don't blame anybody. I don't put blame. So I don't have this negative thing towards my illness. I now can embrace it with positivity and see it as this is a huge pivotal point that changed me, and it saved my life, and now I live a life so different and so much more fulfilling, even more than the one I had. Not that the one I had was terrible, but it's in a whole different way. And I hope that by sharing this experience and sharing this challenging side of it, that you can see that there is a purpose to it. Maybe one you can't see when you're in the depths of it and sick and no energy and just like can't even think of anything else but surviving. That's the point I was in. I couldn't think of anything. Nothing existed. No dreams, no goals, no life. Nothing existed except the thought of surviving when I was at my lowest. And it was just, how do I live? And if you are at that point, I want you to know that there is another side. There is a purpose. There is a growth. There is a change that can happen, and that is happening, and that will happen. And it's almost like you have to mourn the death of the old you, the old lifestyle, even the death of all your illnesses. Mourn it. It's going to be this sad time. It's going to be this troubling time. It's this difficult time. But then, after that part ends, there is this beautiful side that is awaiting for you. It is there. It is happening. But you have to go through this challenging part, and you have to end the other side and be okay with it. Let go of all the fears. Let go of all the challenges. Let go of all the hurt. Let go of all the blame. Let it all go. And there is this new side. And that everything happened. And it's okay that it happened. But there's a huge growth that can happen from it. And once that happens, I promise you, the new you, the new life is so much better than the one that you're grieving and letting go. For dinner, I just had some steamed Japanese sweet potatoes and gold potatoes, and I had it with some Persian cucumbers and tomatoes. After dinner, I took my liquid zinc. And for dessert, I just had a couple of apples. Well, that's it for today, you guys. I shall see you guys tomorrow.